In our opinion, Hong Sang-soo's films can be characterized from the standpoint of metamodernism. The generation of metamodernism realizes that it is possible to be ironic and sincere at the same time. While postmodernism has been characterized by such traits as deconstruction, irony, stylization, relativism, and the rejection of general concepts, metamodernism is associated with the processes of reviving sincerity, hope, romanticism, attraction, and returning to general concepts and universal truths. However, the discourse of metamodernism is built taking into account everything that was created in the era of postmodernism. In cinema, one of the manifestations of metamodernism is mumblecore. Russian film critic Alisa Taezhnaya characterizes mumblecore as a jokingly coined term that combines 21st century American independent cinema, filmed with almost no digital camera budget, and tells about the private lives of young millennial city dwellers. Mumblecore films are notable for their everyday life stories, impromptu dialogue, and lack of distance between writers and characters. In part, the origins of such cinema are based on the manifesto of European filmmakers Dogma 95. According to Lars von Trier, the ultimate goal of the film is to squeeze the truth out of characters and circumstances. Alisa Taezhnaya highlights the following features of mumblecore. Mumblecore is an independent cinema, which means it is cheap and easy to organize. A couple of locations, one camera in hand, 3 or 4 days of filming, no costumes, separate voice acting, and especially set lighting. Mumblecore is a boring movie. It is a static, viscous movie. Relationships in the film are built horizontally, not vertically. Mumblecore is more such a director's movie as a team one. Mumblecore is presented in a lightweight form with incessant mumbling, jokes over a bottle or 2 of beer. A middle class are in the spotlight, and there is much less action in the frame than non-action. The rhetoric and logic of psychotherapy has seeped into the independent film script. Therapy is built around a conversation between 2 or 3 people and focuses on precise wording and speaking feelings and emotions aloud. Mumblecore often makes heroes of young people who have not matured enough and despised the rules of a successful life, stuck in internal illusions and use. From the point of view of Mumblecore, we can talk about Hong Sang-soo's film The Woman Who Ran. The film presents a calm and fussy story of a woman whose husband went on a business trip, and as the free time appeared, she decided to visit her old friends. Girlfriends sit at the table, eat, drink, and chat, and this, in fact, the whole story. Further, the Hong Sang-soo movie can be endlessly folded into any shapes and patterns that you desire, like a Rubik's Cube. The first woman, played by So Young-hwa, after a difficult divorce and division of property, lives with her friend outside the city, takes care on the garden and cats, listens the cries of neighbors' chicken and rooster in the morning. She says that she cannot spend the whole day with one person. It ties her. She wants to be alone. The protracted dialogue about animals at the beginning of the film may seem excessively zoological and boring. Although it one's eyes, this is a height of tolerance and a real challenge to anthropocentrism when animals are placed in the same horizontal as people. The second heroine, actress Son San-mi, also bought a new apartment with a view of the mountains after the divorce, lives in the area of poets, artists, and other people related to art. She herself teaches dances, conducts Pilates lessons, earned good money from this. She has an interest in a man who is not yet divorced, but already in the process. A young poet comes to her with whom she accidentally slept, and now she cannot get rid of him. It may seem to some that this is one of the most wounded ladies, since she is already losing her memory and cannot remember anything as a result of her neglected life. But to someone, on the contrary, the heroine will be seen at the peak of her female biography. The third lady, actress Kim Se-byuk, stole boyfriend from the main heroine, played by Kim Min-hee, many years ago and is now married to him. He is a well-known writer, often appears on TV, is popular. But his wife is driven into a psychological trauma by his narcissism and the fact that he has been saying the same thing for many years without updating his everyday verbal repertoire at all. The heroine Kim Min-hee also meets with her former lover, who again invites her to meet, and she stubbornly asks him to be silent. Stop talking so much, you are completely lying. And in this, female solidarity is manifested rather than devotion to the former, carried through the years. But why not to interpret it in a different way? Someone saw in the three characters visited by the heroine Kim Min-hee different degrees of marital relations, from loneliness to courtship and mature marriage. But if you wish, you can add it up in the reverse order, from a collapsing marriage to a courtship and stable relationships with a girlfriend. Hong Sang-soo sets up a table for each of the friends' goofy conversations at the window, with wonderful views on the garden, then the mountain, then the park. And this, of course, tells the audience not only about the good prospects of each of them, but also that the prospects will be realized only as a result of an active personal choice, or non-choice, which is also a choice. Only the heroine, Song San-mi, has a window, also with the most beautiful view of a distant mountain, but it's somehow small compared to the windows of the other women. Maybe the stage of courtship is that eye in the needle into which you need to stretch the thread. Or is it precisely she who is already internally ready for a new choice that narrows the general prospects? The heroine, Kim Min-hee, who is happily married, seems to memorize the same phrase to each friend. Can you imagine? My husband and I have never parted in 5 years. My husband says that if people love each other, they should always be together. And this involuntarily leads to the thought, is not she the same woman who ran away? And does not she want to compare the hours of her life with friends who perhaps bypassed her in both the profession and in the personal life? Has she become stagnant, preventing her from realizing her best version of herself? In a word, Hong Sang-soo created the original hollow cinematic form. Do whatever you want with it. The viewer's vision depends on his or her own experience and vision. The Woman Who Ran is no longer a feminist manifesto of a new generation of women, but far from fashionable gender ideologies, and a much deeper understanding of their marital status by women of middle and older age, its expediency in one form or another in the process of self-realization and disclosure of their own self.